The immortal John Hancock here, and today I might have outdone myself on Bizarre. I like collecting homebrew games for all systems, and you know, there's a lot of bad systems out there that, you know, to be honest, most people don't game on. Most people just heard about them, or maybe even haven't heard about them, and just like, those systems are terrible. Well, I recently purchased something off Atariage, done by a couple enthusiasts, and it's pretty awesome. Believe it or not, it's definitely something worth checking out, and that's why I'm going to be showcasing it. It's the Rca Studio 2 Multicart. That's right, they made a multi-cart for the Rca Studio 2, and most people are like, okay, that thing's terrible. Agree, it's terrible, but there's a lot of homebrew games that have been made, and now they're available on cartridge on this. And so this includes not only all the Rca Studio 2 games. There's simple programs to test your unit on, as well as awesome homebrew games, and other game ROMs from other regions are now you can play on your Rca Studio 2 or Rca Studio 2 compatible machines. And so I just wanted to showcase it on my channel, keeping my promise of uploading some pretty bizarre stuff this year. And so let's check it out. So here we go. I wanted to note that I do have a couple extras included with just the multi-cart that you can purchase. I'm going to put a link down to the thread that is on Atariage. I do not know if these are still available, but you know, might be worth checking out. So here's the actual multi-cart, and it has simple dials on it to select the ROM that you want. I paid extra and pretty much got a shell with a label on mine, and it's pretty sweet. It looks nice. Also, for addition, and it also came with a manual, and the manual is very important. Okay, you need to keep the manual, at least make a photocopy of it, but it shows all the games and how to select them. And it just talks about a little bit about what you can play on the multi-cart. These are the people that were involved with creating this. So nice that they did it. It's awesome. And the extra that did cost extra, I had a box made for mine, and it looks sweet, and it's and it'll go great when I display my Studio 2 collection. They have the multi-cart, and really, if you're collecting the system, this is the only cart you need, because this has everything. It's really cool. Invaders, and it's a good Space Invaders clone. Again, you control by moving left and right on the A side, and firing using the 0 number on the B side. It's fast, it plays well, and you know, again, the Rca Studio 2 is very simplistic, so the fact it's even able to produce a game like this is awesome. You know, this is not going to set the world on fire, but you know, again, it's an actual game. I mean, this is unlike many of the other Rca Studio 2 games. This is an actual game. Take that. Yeah, get it. So this is Outbreak. This is a breakout clone, and a decent one. And again, you know, plays well. You serve it by pressing the 0 on the B side of the system, and you know, it's breakout. My friend John Rose kind of mentioned that the sound that the Rca Studio 2 does on games sounds a lot like the vintage handhelds of the time. So there you go. Yes, there was even a Pac-Man made for this. This is one of Paul Robson's homebrew games, and if you press 0 on the A side of the RCA Studio 2, so it's Pac-Man, and it's, you know, it's not bad. I think the sound would drive me nuts. Yeah, rockin' RCA Studio 2 Pac-Man. Enough of that sound. Ooh. So here's Climber. Climber again is a pretty decent version of it for considering the limitations. It has sound, if you call that sound, but you know, I thought it was a faithful version of Climber. It uses the A side of the system to control you climbing up a building and avoiding falling debris or whatever graphics you want to call that. But yeah, so it's pretty rudimentary, but it's got some simple sound. Again, it's really neat to see these homebrew games added to this great multi-cart for, of all things, the RCA Studio 2. Now again, if you would have told me this earlier, I would have laughed at you saying, yeah right, multi-cart for RCA Studio 2, that's got to be the most boring thing ever. But no, it's pretty neat to see that, you know, this system, which is 40 years old now, working, and you know, having some great homebrew games that people have programmed in here. Looks like I found a way of getting past that. Let's see. Well, I'm rocking it. So there you have it. There's Climber. Looks like I found a way to cheat. Yes, there's even a kaboom on this, and it plays pretty solid. You know, like many of these games, yeah, this is not going to set the world on fire. It's just neat to see that something so primitive is able to actually produce games. So this is a version of Kaboom. Plays good. Nice little animations too. Press 0 for each wave. It's kind of nice if you want to get a break in between. I'm controlling this again, like many of these games, pressing left and right on the A side of the RCA Studio 2. And it gets harder. So believe it or not, there's even scramble on this. And let's see here. Okay, we'll choose 2. I think there's different modes of difficulty here. So again, 0 on the B side fires your shot, and I do believe the higher there are different difficulties. This is kind of simple, but yeah, it's scramble. It's simple scramble. Ah, I died. Shows you how many ships you got left. And you press 6 to initiate it. 0 on the B side to fire again. And then on the A side you press up, down. You can slow down. Oh, okay, I get it now. You can log. Okay, let's see here. Oh! Shows you have one life left. You press back and down, you can lob like a bomb. Ah! Wah wah. This is Pinball. This is an MPT2 ROM. And this is again one of the many awesome games on this multi-cart here. I have never played this, You press 1 on the B side of the Rca Studio 2 to start a game, and then you use 4 and 6 for the flippers. Again, really simple. I am a fan of video pinball. Oh, let's not hit it in time. Alright, let's see if I can do this again. Come on, alright. Oh! See if I can do this. Man, it's so funny to think that they thought not having a controller and having these little keypads on the system would be good enough competing with Atari. Yeah, right. Very cool. So this is a nice added feature to the Multicart that I really enjoy. And this is a hardware test. And so by pressing 1 on the A side of the Rca Studio 2, it does a hexadecimal checksum, and if you have an Rca Studio 2, it should read ECAB. So that tells you that some of your hardware is working correctly. If you then press 2, it then does a RAM test, and it'll do this for a little bit, and it'll show a series of lines. This is really nice cartridge feature to check hardware. If you're having an issue with your system and it still can boot up, this is a good way to test it. So it passes. And then the next is a keypad test, and you press this. So then by pressing on the keypad, you can make sure and test the individual numbers to make sure they register. And I did get this unit, which is a little beat up, but it works perfectly, which is getting harder to find now. And so nice to see that my unit is working correctly. So there you have it. What did you think? Pretty bizarre? Was it better than what you thought it could perform? Again, the Rca Studio 2 is 40 years old. That is an old device, and the fact that people were able to squeeze rudimentary games out of its limited hardware is pretty impressive. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I do 2 videos a week. I also have a Patreon that I do take support from, and anything that anybody contributes then goes back into my channel. This is the Immortal John Hancock. See you next week.